Hello everyone, welcome back to my class on transactional writing. In today's class, let us discuss about handling letters of complaint. Now, the most common way to address a problem and to make sure that your voice is heard is to write a letter to the concerned authorities. Now, we write complaint letters for different purposes like to address wrongdoing or to talk about a grievance, resentment arising out of a product, service, etc. So basically, in a complaint letter, we raise our concern about something unfair that has happened or something that we are not very happy about, and we seek a productive outcome out of this letter. So, the first step to seek justice is to file a complaint. Now, another advantage of writing a letter of complaint is that it also inspires other troubled consumers. Thereby, it influences the concerned authorities to take proper action, and it will also make the defaulters more responsible as well as responsive. In other words, it will put pressure on the wrongdoers to act more responsibly as well as to respond to your queries. There lies the importance of writing letters of complaint. Complaint letters can be of two types. One is the personal complaint letter. Now, this letter is written at an individual level and it pertains to individual grievances. The next one is the professional complaint letter. This is the complaint letter written on behalf of the organization. Here we have two models of a complaint received by a company, and let us see the language used in the two letters given. The letter is addressed to SR Handicrafts, the manager of SR Handicrafts, Kanyakumari, and it says, Dear Sir, last month when I was touring your beautiful city, I visited your shop and bought a lovely flower vase. Your cordial and efficient staff agreed to have the vase delivered to me in Kerala. They were good at their words. When I reached home, the parcel was waiting for me. When I opened the parcel, however, I discovered that they had sent the wrong vase. Could you please arrange to send the vase I had ordered? Would you like me to courier you the vase I had received? Naturally, I would expect you to bear the courier charges. With regards, the signature of the person and then the name given. Now we have model 2 of the same issue, but let's see the language that is used here. The letter is addressed to the manager of SR Handicrafts, Kanyakumari, and the content of the letter goes like this. Dear manager, what kind of a unit are you running up there? I ordered a vase and paid through my nose for it, and you send me a different vase? This is a cheap trick that you guys play regularly on tourists like me. I demand that I be sent the right vase immediately. If you don't, I will move the consumer court in your country and charge you with fraud. Also, arrange to take away the ugly vase you have sent me. Angrily yours, the signature, and the name of the person. Now, which of the two letters did you find more appealing? Is it the first model or the second one? Naturally, you might have been impressed with model 1 because let us check what made model 1 impressive. Now, when we go through this letter, we see that the customer has used very polite language. He or she has placed trust in the company and is very sure that the company will replace for the mistake that has been committed. Of course, it was not an intentional mistake, and for the lapse on the part of the company is ready to, or the customer feels that the company is ready to make amends. Although the language used is very polite, the customer is very sure of what he wants. He wants the vase to be replaced, and he is also ready to send back the vase that he had received, but he says firmly that he does not want to bear the courier charges. So he has put across his demand in a very polite but in a very firm manner. Now, if you look at the second letter, you understand that the customer has been very rude in his address to the company. He This was not an intentional mistake, but then he makes the whole thing look as if that the company has done a fraud against him. So this letter doesn't seem to appeal. Another point to note here is that the customer himself is not very sure about what he wants. Is it that he wants the vase to be replaced, or is it that he plans to move to the court and wants to charge him with charge the company with fraud? So the message as such is not very clear. So once again, when we compare the two models, we see in model 1 that the customer is very sure of his purpose. The purpose is to get the company to solve his problem. He tells the company politely but firmly what he wants the company to do. He also empathizes with the staff at SR Handicrafts. Whereas in model 2, the customer seems to be confused about the purpose of the letter, overgeneralizes, he makes a genuine mistake look like planned fraud. He also assumes that SR Handicrafts would be intimidated by the threat of adverse publicity and therefore would definitely address his problem. In other words, he feels that by threatening the company, okay, or by frightening the company will address his problem. So he assumes that threatening the company is the best way to deal with the situation. So that is how the second customer has dealt with this issue. However, we have understood the right way of writing a letter of complaint. The first thing, make sure that you are very polite but put across your message very firmly. Place your trust on the company, and you can also empathize with the staff of the company. So, these are certain points that you should keep in your mind when you write a letter of complaint. Now, how do you write or how do you reply to a letter of complaint? Suppose you are the manager of a particular company and you have received a complaint. How do you respond to it? Here, I have given you a model. First, the name of the company, SR Handicrafts, Kanyakumari 12. And then the from address is written Mr. Sevakumar, the manager, customer relations. And after that comes the to address, Mr. Tom Jacob, 122 Raja Nagar, Idukki. After the salutation, dear Mr. Jacob. After that, we see the body of the letter. Let's read that. I'm extremely sorry to know that you have been sent the wrong flower vase. The lovely vase you had chosen had been couriered to you via ABC Couriers. The consignment number is 304 bar 19. It will reach you latest by 20th June. Would you like to keep the vase we had sent you? We will be happy to offer you a 50% discount on it. We would prefer giving you a valued customer at half its original price to paying courier charges and taking it back. Thank you for your trust in us. With warm regards, Selvakumar. So, what do you find in this letter? When you reply to a letter of complaint, you should be very polite in your in the way you address your customer. So the letter here starts by apologizing for the mistake that has been committed from the part of the company. And after that, the company here immediately tells the solution that it has taken in order to solve the problem. If you look at the second sentence, it says the lovely vase you had chosen has been couriered to you via ABC couriers, because that is exactly what the customer is looking forward to. The customer is interested in knowing what the action taken by the company is. And then in the third and the fourth sentence, we understand that the company is assuring the customer about the time limit that will be taken in order to deliver, and tries to assure that it will reach at the earliest. Okay, so that is what the third and the fourth sentence say here. The consignment number is 304 bar 90. It will reach you latest by 20th June. So it's a kind of assurance to the customer about when the was will reach him. Now, if you check the second paragraph of the letter, you see that the manager here has offered an alternate solution. Okay, he has the customer has received another was by mistake. So here there is a choice offered to the customer. The manager says here that they are ready to give a 50% discount on the was, and the company prefers to give it to the valued customer rather than paying the courier charges and taking it back. So here the company is trying to say that this person is their valued customer. And then the closing remark is thank you for your trust in us. So he's thanking the customer for placing his trust in the company. And it ends with warm regards, Selva Kumar. So I have highlighted here a few points that you need to take care of when you write a reply to a letter of complaint. So let us check that once again. First, apologize, but don't overdo it. You don't have to keep on apologizing. You can apologize once, but that is the first thing that you need to do when you are replying to a letter of complaint. Next, discuss the action taken on the complaint right at the beginning of the letter. Third, assure the customer of the course of action. Next, suggest an alternative plan. Acknowledge the trust that the customer had placed on the company. Make it customer oriented. Last, use polite language. So, as a recap, what we have discussed so far in replying to letters of complaints are customers really appreciate apologies. So they are also very much anxious to know what the action is that has been taken by the company in response to their complaints. They would also like to know how soon their problem will be solved. Now, this customer complaint should not be taken in a negative sense. On the other hand, the company should consider these complaints as a feedback about their company. So these are valuable feedbacks for the company to progress, for the company to make amends for their mistakes and to progress. So the customers should be thanked for their feedback and trust in the company. So that is all I have to talk to you about letters of complaints. We shall be discussing on another topic in our next video. Till then, thank you.